in for the big one-handed slam.
After the first few minutes, Nick, I thought he was going to go for about 35 or something.
Me too. He was uber aggressive early. Nick Nurse, not to be too nerdy, but a great timeout. Down 7 early, recognized that the Raptors were not ready for Giannis' level of intensity. After that timeout, just 6 of 14 the rest of the way for Giannis, and none of those easy ones.
All right, more from this one. Chris Middleton throwing the nice pass up ahead to Eric Bledsoe for the layup.
Now, Middleton played the best game I've seen him play last 2 weeks.
Yep, he was outstanding. And you think if Middleton goes for 30 the way he did, they would win. He was great on both ends once again. The rest of the Bucks didn't pick up their end. This was one of the only easy buckets Eric Bledsoe made. He's having a really rough series.
Finally, Marc Gasol finding Kawhi in the backdoor cut, and
I thought he was cramping up on this one.
Watch the way he lands.
Nick Nurse did a great job of putting Gasol in the high post, and Kawhi, they were overplaying him so much that he went backdoor a couple times, got a couple layups. Watch how Kawhi goes to his left hand. His left hand can get closer to the bucket, so he's able to quick dunk on Giannis before Giannis is able to defend the rim.
And Giannis, that's a silly foul right there by Giannis.
All right, you guys want to play some in or out?
Love to.
Yesterday, Warriors forward Andre Iguodala said that his teammate Steph Curry is the second best point guard ever, only behind the great Magic Johnson. So, see, you in or out on Steph being the second greatest point guard of all time?
Got to call an audible. I'm out on this one. I mean, Oscar Robertson and what he did, especially early in his career, Oscar Robertson right now should maintain that spot. I do believe that Steph Curry, he's one of the few great players with the type of resume that he can move up a spot and potentially rival Magic Johnson. Yeah. It's going to take some years, Nick.
Listen, I did my list earlier. Steph was third. I think Steph has entrenched himself. I think he's past Stockton. With respect to our friend, I think he's past Isaiah Thomas, behind only Oscar Robertson and Magic Johnson. But I do not put a ceiling on how high Steph can rise. When Durant leaves, if the Warriors continue on this run, Steph not only can top Oscar, he has a shot. His cement's not dry, as you would say, of rivaling Magic, because he's going to have a longer career than Magic did, and his scoring is the best we've ever seen from one of these super elite point guards. But right now he's third. You got to have him third. Oscar, what he did, especially the first 8 years.
I'm going to start charging you for my words. Cement.
Cement dry? Yeah. Cement still dry. I'm going to start charging you for my list. You had him second this morning. You heard my impeccable list. Now he's third.
Okay,
how about that?
With all the
now we're even.
Yeah,
and your hair's growing as I'm sitting here watching.
Sticking with the Warriors, yesterday owner Joe Lacob said he's confident that Golden State can re-sign both Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson. Nick, you went out on both the Warriors keeping KD and Klay this summer.
I'm as certain that Klay is staying as I am that Durant is leaving. They are near 100% to keep Klay, and they are near 100% to lose Durant. So I am out. Joe Lacob, what do you expect Joe Lacob to say? Hey, listen, we're going to keep Klay. No idea about KD. He's on Twitter right now, probably acting a fool. Who knows what's going on? I heard he just bought another piece of real estate in New York City. No, you got to say this now. We'll see what they're saying in about 5.5 weeks.
But if this was true, Nick, if Klay was going to stay and KD was going to stay, what would they do with Draymond?
Man, well, the way he's playing, I would think they'd have to pay him too. And Joe Lacob is just going to end up writing a $300 million luxury tax check to the rest of the league. Like, that would be one of them rich people problems you always tell me.
Yeah, I'm out, man. I believe that KD will be close, on the island. Somewhere on the island.
All right, moving on to Anthony Davis now. New Pelicans. The EVP David Griffin is hopeful that he can keep the brow in New Orleans for the long haul. He plans to sit down with AD, sell him on the idea of staying there in New Orleans. Nick, you went around on the Pelicans having any chance of convincing AD to stay there beyond next season?
I'm out for this reason. Because the only chance they would have is to win at a high level this year, keep him, turn down all trade offers, win at a high level this year. And I think David Griffin is too smart to run the risk of letting Anthony Davis play another basketball game with the New Orleans Pelicans. Because if he gets hurt, and he's a guy who in his career has been injured, his trade value goes to zero. I talk about guys trading people for 60 cents on the dollar. You would be getting 0 cents on the dollar. You just literally hit the lottery with Zion Williamson. Don't risk that rebuild by a 5%, 10% chance of keeping AD. So, no, I don't think they have any chance because I think they're trading him before next season begins.
The front office is going to meet with AD in Los Angeles in the next couple weeks, and I believe that that is going to be a monumental meeting. I believe AD is going to tell them in Rich Paul that they want to be traded, and they much prefer to be traded to L.A. or to New York. That's the word behind the scene, and you can't have AD be on that team and Zion be confused. Is he going to be here or not be here? Those season ticket holders, they don't have the money in New Orleans as far as companies to be able to keep AD there. He is the only player in the top 5, 8 players that we have that needs the branding boost to be in LA or to be in New York. So I'm out.
And you want a clean start with Zion. You don't want this specter of you want the fans to be juiced up about the Zion Williamson era beginning, not have the messiness of is AD going to be around or not. I think all this gets done in mid-July.
All right, on to the NFL now. The Patriots signed wideout Julian Edelman to a 2-year contract extension that includes $12 million in guaranteed money. Chris, you in or out on New England's decision to give Edelman an extension?
I'm in. He's been underpaid, man, almost his whole career. Like, he didn't have any leverage. With Gronk there being their #1 receiver, they went out and got Josh Gordon last year, but now neither one of them being on the roster, he's their best option. He should be making $12 million a year. Some of these terrible wide receivers they're paying out here. Cole Beasley got 3 years in Buffalo, 27-something million. Stop, man. The dude's MVP. He has earned it.
Well, that's the reason I'm out, see? Because he didn't give him enough money. My guy, Julian Edelman, you might not know this. We're trying to bring him into the firm as one of my clients. We don't have many guys like him, but we're trying to bring him in.
He got some of the same tendencies.
Oh, exactly right. So listen, you got him for $2 million this year already. So now you add 2 years, $18 million. That sounds good, $9 million a year, but not really. It ends up being 3 years, $20-ish million, $7 million a year. Guy won Super Bowl MVP. He's your #1 receiving option. Pay him real money. Jason Witten's damn near making as much money as Julian Edelman. So I say I'm out only because Edelman should have gotten more. He has earned it. He's proven himself. And if we're being honest, this is his last real NFL contract, most likely.
Oh, yeah. He's no young guy. Yeah, and I can support that.
He likes betting on the ponies, too, from what I hear. He needs a little extra money.
Ben Roethlisberger has done a lot of explaining over the past few days. Now he's admitting he lacked the leadership last season and will be better going forward. Last year, the Steelers won 9 games, barely missed the playoffs. Nick, you in or out on the Steelers getting back to the postseason this year?
I got to be out. It might cost my guy Mike Tomlin his job, but I got to be out. I think the Browns are going to win the division. I think you're going to have 2 teams out of the AFC West, 2 teams out of the AFC South. Then there's only 6 spots. Somebody's coming out of the AFC East. Oh yeah, New England. So there it is. Like I think the talent matters, and I'll believe it when I see it of this new leader, turnover, new leaf, Ben Roethlisberger. Yep. But they weren't good enough to make the playoffs last year with Antonio Brown. They're not going to be better without Antonio Brown. I don't know that I buy that, so I got to be out.
I'm out, and I am a fan of Tomlin, and I do believe that Ben's one of the greats that we do have in the game. I do believe he'll bounce back. I believe he'll say all the right things, do all the right things, because he has shown at times in his career that he can be a good leader. But that doesn't mean as a leader that you don't stop learning. And that's what we saw not only last year, Jenna, let's not forget 2 years ago when we had the anthem and all his antics around that. So he's been inconsistent as far as leadership for a number of years there in Pittsburgh.
All right, good stuff. Take a break.